Hey guys, so let's talk about last night's episode of Once Upon a Time. I was really excited because we got to go back to Storybrooke. So at the end of last episode, we got that Ariel was going to go back to Storybrooke for Regina and Mr. Gold, and she was going to find whatever device it is that Mr. Gold needed to defeat Peter Pan. So we got to kind of see how things are going in Storybrooke. We got a flashback of Belle using the spell that Mr. Gold gave her to protect the town. And we also get that there are two strangers in town who are there before the spell kind of goes into effect, and that they are from the Home Office. I'm sure you Rumbell fans were all really excited because there were lots of little Rumbell moments throughout the episode. You know, Belle actually ends up finding this device, which turns out to be Pandora's box, because of the strength of the love between her and Mr. Gold. I really liked seeing Belle and Ariel work together, so I really am hoping that Ariel becomes a regular, or that we at least get to see more of her in Storybrooke. Back in Neverland, Mary Margaret and David are really just gearing up for a fight. Mary Margaret is so angry at David. I mean, like, she's just pretty much ignoring him, and he keeps pressing her until finally she just snaps, and they really kind of have it out. I thought it was interesting to kind of see the, like, real side of these two when we're so used to kind of seeing the, like, you know, fairy tale love between them. It was really refreshing to kind of see them be a real couple and deal with, like, real couple issues. Y'all know I'm saving the best part for last, right? When I talk about Hook and Emma and Neil and their little, you know, love triangle adventure. But before we get to that, let's talk about what else happened in Neverland. Let's talk about Henry, you guys, right? Because I knew it the whole time, too. I was not fooled by Peter Pan. I figured that he was baiting Henry. We finally got to see who was in the other box. It turns out that it's Wendy, and that was really kind of an interesting little twist. It also turns out that the two kind of home office guys back in Storybrooke are Wendy's brothers, and the only reason they're working for Pan is because they want to save their sister. But back to Henry, you know, Peter Pan really kind of lures Henry out, making him believe that he finds Wendy all on his own, when really it's just a ploy of Peter Pan. Now, Wendy does what Pan says, I'm sure because Pan is holding her brothers over her, and he's got her locked up in a cage. So she lies to Henry and tells him that she's sick and that she's dying because the island is dying. And by the end of the episode, we get that Henry's going to do what Peter Pan wants because he thinks that's going to save Wendy. Henry's such a sweet kid, and I think so many times he gets such a hard time from people because he's a kid and he does things like a kid would do, and he looks at things, you know, like a kid would look at them, and he has this real innocence about him, but, you know, that's just who Henry is. Immediately, you knew he believed her and that he was really going to do anything he could, you know, to save her. So here's hoping that his mothers find him before that happens and are able to kind of convince him that Peter Pan is a liar. Or, you know what, Henry might surprise us all in the end and may have already figured that out. Okay, let us talk about the love triangle road trip into the Dark Hollow. So Emma, Hook, and Neil go off to find Pan's shadow, right? Because that is Neil's way to get off the island. I guess maybe Neil has done this before, you know, so they go back to his old cave where he used to live when he lived on Neverland. They find his little coconut shell, which he wants to use to trap Pan's shadow, and the three of them head off into the Dark Hollow. Now, Hook, being Hook, decides that he needs to tell Neil that him and Emma kissed. And we get that he doesn't just do it to, you know, be a jerk, but he does it because he thinks that Neil already knows. He thinks that Neil heard his secret when they were all in the cave last week, but Neil hadn't heard that. So when he hears that Emma and Hook have kissed, that's kind of a shock to him. The two of them were so funny though, because you get that they're both there to really vie for her attention. At one point, they are fighting over a lighter, like two little 12-year-olds. And I mean, it was kind of hilarious. My favorite part, right, was this little moment between Hook and Emma in the woods. But the cool part was as they're having this conversation, you know, he takes a step closer to her and she doesn't move away. And he is just like, I don't know, the voice was just, I was feeling the voice, ladies. I was getting a little steamy as I was sitting in front of my TV. It was really cool, right? Because during the conversation, right, Hook tells her the reason he told Neil was because he was hoping that the kiss had meant something to Emma. And Emma says to him, the thing that meant something to me was the fact that you came and you told us about Neil. Like, you could have lied about that, but you didn't, and that's what really meant something. So I thought that was really cool because that's Hook showing her that he's more than just a pirate. Now the best part though, you know, back to the whispering and me getting a little heated under the collar, was because as he's talking to her, he tells her basically like, when I win your heart, and I'm gonna win your heart. Come on now, Hook. It's not gonna be because I tricked you into it. It's gonna be because you want me. Come on now. I mean, I was just like, yes, you are killing me, Captain Hook. Because you know that he's determined and he's like in it to win it. And you know, she reiterates the whole, like, I'm here for Henry, and he's like, I know, but basically when that's over, when you get Henry, that's when the fun begins. So I can't wait, you guys, to see what kind of develops in the relationship between the two. There were several points, right, during the whole, like, love triangle road trip where you got that the boys wanted her to choose, and she finally kind of pulls the two of them together and tells them, look, you want me to make a choice? I choose Henry. I want to find my son, you know, like, get focused, people. And, you know, I mean, this is the place for that. They're there to find Henry. I feel like her making a choice, or there kind of being a real reveal about the love triangle, that's not really going to happen until they get back to Storybrooke. Although, I do feel like things are leaning Hook's way, and I'm not just saying that. So yeah, you guys, it was another great episode for season 3 of Once Upon a Time. Can't wait for what's coming next. It really does feel like next week is going to be kind of like the final battle, and I really can't wait until we get back to Storybrooke for good. That's it for me today, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.